the testes reside, they descend from the abdomen down through the inguinal ligament and into a sac outside the body called the scrotum. The reason they are outside the body is to keep them approximately 3 degrees cooler than inside the pelvic cavity. And that 3 degrees is enough to allow for adequate production of sperm. That doesn't mean, guys, you can sit in the hot tub for an hour and you'll become sterile. That doesn't work that way. But they are outside the body to allow for the production of sperm. We'll talk more about male and female reproductive system on Monday. Now the thymus, we've already talked about this somewhat. It is a structure that is part of the lymphatic system. It produces 2 hormones, thymosin and thymopoietin. IGF is insulin-like growth factor. There are a number of insulin-like growth factor ones, or insulin-like growth factors. But the function of the thymus is to produce T lymphocytes. So circulating lymphocytes pass into the thymus gland, and thymosin, thymopoietin convert them into T lymphocytes. There are T killer cells, T helper cells, T cytotoxic cells, T suppressor cells. You get all that in microbiology. And it atrophies and becomes non-functional about the age of 30, but it will reside there as scar tissue. The pineal gland is part of the epithalamus. It produces and secretes melatonin. Melatonin is thought to be involved in regulation of the circadian cycle, or your daily diurnal cycles. As you may or may not know, right before you awake in the morning, there is a large release of cortisol from your adrenal glands. And that is thought, I don't know whether it's due to the fact that the stress of waking up, but it may be under partial control by melatonin release. And it is also inhibited by FSH and LH. Again, we don't know the significance of a lot of those things. Other endocrine organs, your heart, your atria produce a hormone called atrial natriuretic peptide. Naturia, or natrium, is sodium. And so atrial natriuretic peptide causes a natriuresis, increased excretion of sodium. This happens when your blood vascular volume gets quite high. It stretches the atrial wall, and ANP is released, acts on your kidneys to excrete sodium. As the sodium goes out, it takes water with it. Your skin is instrumental in the synthesis of calcitriol and vitamin D. And then the kidneys also secrete renin, erythropoietin, and aid in the synthesis of vitamin D. Other endocrine organs, the liver produces erythropoietin and angiotensinogen. Also aids in the synthesis of vitamin D and insulin-like growth factor. And the placenta, if pregnancy ensues, initially the ovaries are what maintain the pregnancy, but once the placenta is fully formed, it becomes an endocrine structure and it produces estrogen and progesterone, which will carry the pregnancy to term. Stomach produces a number of different hormones, gastrin, cholecystokinin, those structures. And I think all of those are listed here. Any questions on any of this? Yes?
Is calcitriol the same thing as bioactive vitamin?
That's a good question. I don't know.
And then we talk about vitamin D a lot in physiology.
No, we don't go into it that much.
I don't try to understand that. It usually goes through a lot of different steps.
Yeah, oh, you mean the actual
The
synthesis?
synthesis of it and like.
We don't get into that